And we're live.
Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Capes and Commentaries podcast. Tyler Baker here and Nathan Kennedy, and we're here gonna stretch our wings a little bit and head down to the sewers because we've always said we're not just gonna do superhero stuff, even though what we're doing today is comic book related. So we're just gonna spread it out a little bit and talk about another series that both of us, me and Nathan, both grew up on very passionately. Is on the first episode of Turtle Tracks from the
T-
'80s.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Is that your Christian Slater impression?
It's pretty bad.
I figure that might be what you're doing. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen The Wizard, then you won't know what he's talking about. But yeah, we're here to talk about the first episode, Turtle Tracks, which was the first episode I ever saw as a kid from Christmas '88. Came on a VHS with Raph with the first two episodes, so that's what I watched religiously for many years, and still remains to be my top two episodes because of that.
See that's interesting because for me it's I have no recollection of that being one of the first episodes that I watched. Um I honestly I couldn't even tell you what exactly the first episode that I watched was because surely it was one that I caught on TV because I didn't obtain VHS tapes from that show until the Burger King releases.
Oh yes. So then I tell you because I mean, for a lot of people, it may have been the toys with an introduction to the cartoon, whereas me, it was one package with Raph and the first two episodes. That was my introduction. Were the toys the introduction for you, or and along with catching it with the cartoon simultaneously, or
Yeah, I would say that kind of came hand in hand. I would say that it was probably catching the show on Saturday morning and then going out to the store and seeing the toys. So I'm pretty sure it definitely went hand in hand. I honestly could not, and I hate to say it, but I can't remember. I don't have a vivid memory of like that first interaction with it, but uh, I feel pretty certain it was just that, and then it was just an avalanche from there. It's like, well, we got to have the games, got to have more
yeah,
of the toys. The Burger King tapes came along, and then we ended up getting a couple more tapes. Not too many, because I'm sure my parents were just like, well, it's on TV every week. You don't need more of these.
yeah, and that was honestly it was the only tape that me and my brother had too, because we would watch it religiously Monday through Friday, and then and when CBS got the rights to do it, we watched those Saturday mornings. We would rent a few of the tapes, but for the most part, we were pretty content with owning the movie and then a taped version of the sequel of Secret of the Ooze, and then the VHS tape that I got, and that's just what we would watch and whatever we caught on TV. Um, but it was like you said, an avalanche is putting it politely. Just the magnitude of it's
Yeah, God, it was just like,
it was a magical time to be a kid. It really was.
yeah, like I had to have everything. There would be like because I don't know if you did the same thing, but like August rolls around, and it's back to school, so like your parents will take you back to school shopping to get you new clothes, and it was always like my mom. God, I would spend like 2 hours just like trying on shit, and I think she felt bad enough some of the times. It was just like, well, hey, like you pick out some things because this is still point, kindergarten, first grade, your mom's picking out all your clothes. I don't know. Did they pick out your clothes for you? When were you able to finally just be like, you know what, I'm wearing what I want?
I mean, as a kid, I did have because my parents, my mom especially, was aware of I loved He-Man, loved Thundercats and Turtles and stuff. So she did buy me things that were like He-Man pajamas. I had a Thundercat Lion-O Mom Ra T-shirt I was very proud of. Turtle stuff, and that was one of the perks. Like she did pick out a lot of my school clothes because she was big fond of or really fond of Bugle Boy back in the '90s. That
Yeah,
brand of clothing, God,
yeah,
to this
Bugle
day,
Boy, and
yeah.
then what is that? Oshkosh or whatever.
Oshkosh, yeah. I mean, it was she was pretty heavy about that. However, I did manage because I hated back to school stuff. It was just a Great Depression. The month of
Yeah,
August was set. However, picking out my clothes, which is like, okay, I'll gladly go school shopping if I get to pick the t-shirts. So if it had, Bugs Bunny and the Tasmanian Devil playing basketball, or if it had like a cool alligator, with muscles or something like that, I'm like, okay, I'll wear that. Or Wolverine and Jason from the Power Rangers on the same T-shirt. You know, if I could pick out stuff, and wearing turtle clothes was something that if I owned it as a kid, I would wear it proudly to school. Or if
Oh
I
yeah,
see all the kids, yeah,
yeah, no, same here. There were there would be often times too where I don't know if this happened to you either, but you go to school thinking like, oh yeah, I'm so excited about this, and then there's like three or four other kids wearing the exact same shirt. Because I mean, that's just what it was at the time. Like all the kids wanted to just buy everything. So
yeah.
yeah, I remember having one of the shirts and going to school, and like two or three other people had them. Did you ever have any of like you know how they used to, and they still make them, but like the matching kind of outfits? Like here's like a turtle shirt, but also it came with a pair of shorts that like either the
Yeah,
colors matched or it's like the shorts had like a turtle design on it as well, or at least the logo or something.
at the same year we got this, I'd gotten a light blue sweater with a really cool looking Leonardo art motif, and then my brother had gotten a matching set. I had never gotten a match. He got one of it was a red kind of sweatsuit with kind of a more cartoonish look of the turtles eating pizza on the sweater, and then red sweatpants with green turtle shell with turtles written on it. So he had that. I didn't have that, but I was trying to think of some of the other memorabilia we had, but probably shirt wise, I didn't own as many of the cartoon stuff on shirts as I would have preferred, even though I did own some. Because it was to me, it was more about the toys and stuff, and it made it easier getting clothes for birthday or Christmas if it had a cartoon character on it. You know, they gave me something with Virginia Tech on. I'm like, oh, this is great. Move on to the next one. You know, which that did happen, and that's on tape or on transfer to DVD where I actually
Oh
did do
man,
that.
I gotta
Yeah,
watch that now.
yeah. It's on the same tape as where I met Michelangelo at King Video.
Oh, that's awesome. See,
Yeah.
like I met Michelangelo, but I met him at I think it was Valley View Mall.
Oh,
And
even better.
there's no video footage of mine though. It's just there's a picture that you know, you paid to have taken. I want to say you paid to have it taken, or either that or my dad was just up there with the camera. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I want to check. Can you actually see was it nice and fake? Like you can tell in the instant that you were trying to be genuine and it just didn't come across that way.
Oh no! It was genuine as hell. I mean, because there was excitement for because my mom told me in advance that Michelangelo is going to be at King Video doing.
Oh no. I wasn't talking about. I was talking about when you got that tech shirt or whatever.
Oh no! There is no enthusiasm at all. It's
No, I would hope that there would be enthusiasm when you're meeting Michelangelo, but no, I was talking about
oh
the tech
no
shirt.
no
Like,
because this particular birthday, this is right before I went to go see the Ninja Turtles movies in theaters. It had just come out, so we're having a birthday, my actual birthday during the week, and then I was having a buddy party that Saturday where the big thing was we were going to go see the live action Turtles movie. So I was getting some turtle stuff for my birthday. Like I got I forgot what all I got. I got a Ninja Turtle nightlight and I think a watch. I think that's where I got the Batman figure from 1989 from Toy Biz, Beetlejuice figures. But it got down to where I gotten a gift from my aunt that was in a makeup box. I'm like, I ain't opening it. It's makeup, and all the other clothes I got, I think, had turtles on it of some kind. And then I opened this up. It was a white sweatsuit of Virginia Tech, and I just said, look, and then just set it aside, and that was it. It's on tape where I just say, look.
now, did you have like your friends kind of around you too?
No,
Because
this was just family. When
oh,
I opened
okay.
this was just family, and then the later on, oddly enough, Jason Queen, was at that party. Was at the kids. Him and Justin Twine were at that kids party that I had where we went to go see Turtles.
No, man, that sucks.
Yeah,
Bet you wish you could take that back now.
yeah, and they destroyed my Deep Six GI Joe where they were playing around in the back seat. So I had a severed Deep Six figure. I'm like, son of a bitch, man.
The signs
Just
were already there.
Yeah, and then I didn't hang out with those guys not too much longer after that because Jason went off to another school, and I never really saw Justin again until middle school. So,
Damn.
but
I
yeah,
want to. I want to watch that though. Look.
yeah, yeah, it's all on the same tape. Yeah, it's embarrassing watching some of that footage because I act like a complete idiot because it was my birthday, so I'm like playing guitar with the seat cushion. I'm just like out of my mind nuts. Just
Yeah, I need to
I got a
see
bit of a
this.
mullet in it too, so it's
Yes, I need to see this.
yeah. I'm wearing like skinny jeans and a black shirt with Batman on it. And,
Oh man, so you were ahead of the curve on that too.
what do you mean?
Oh yeah, you're just ahead of the curve, ahead of the hot topic. Like you were wearing your skinny jeans and
Oh yeah,
your
yeah,
cool Batman shirt.
yeah.
So
It was probably because I had real thin legs at the time too. So, but they look like acid wash skinny jeans when you watch the video.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
I'm watching that. Next time I come over to your place, I'm like, we're watching that video.
Yeah, man. I figured I'd show you that video of you meeting Michelangelo, but that was an exciting day. Jason Queen was with me that day too.
Jesus Christ.
I know, but you paid to have a VHS recording of your meet and greet with
Oh really?
Michelangelo.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what it was, and I would watch that periodic. I mean, frequently, and
I guess
had
it
it
makes
transcribed.
sense, King Video. Maybe that was an option too when I met him, and my parents were just like, "No, that's too much money."
Well, it may have been, but just something that's what I can remember. That's what King Video was offering: is you meet and greet him, and then you can purchase a copy of your meet and greet. So, and my brother, he was there, but he was too little to do it, and I guess my mom kind of felt like he might have gotten scared, but I think he was pretty enthralled, like watching it.
Yeah.
But he didn't get his done, so it was just me and Jason went and got ours. Then we went and got pepperoni pizza afterwards. It
Well,
was
of
great.
course, because you
Yeah,
have to do that.
have to. And that was so much fun too about Turtles was I've often wondered if the pizza industry took a big extra hit with the popularity of Turtles and eating pizza.
I'm sure
You know,
Pizza Hut did.
yeah,
So
Pizza Hut or Domino's, and
between that and like their quality, because Pizza Hut sucks, but
no, they don't. They're the
yeah,
best, and you know it.
they pizza rankings, everybody. Domino's, and then for me, I guess, and we're just talking national chains,
Yeah,
so
not mom and pop stuff because
yeah, not
that
no
tastes.
mom and pop stuff, but Domino's number one. And number two and three, it always kind of fluctuates between like Little Caesars and Papa John's, and then at the very bottom is Pizza Hut, because Pizza Hut's like it's too greasy, and most of the
Too
times,
greasy.
most of the times when I eat it, I end up like getting the runs afterwards. So
Yeah, but you get the runs after you eat a lot of stuff. I mean, Wendy's gives you
no,
stomach ache. Oh man, Wendy's.
no, no. But yeah, Pizza Hut's the worst. Like
No.
I know I used to eat it a lot as a kid, and I was like, oh yeah, and then
Hey, they had the Book It program, plus they did a heartwarming baseball commercial on the Turtles VHS tape about playing right field. As a
doesn't
little
make
boy
their
who's
pizza any better.
the hell it does. It makes it the best of the best, man. Nothing beats their stuffed crust pizza. Nothing.
All right, I'll give you the stuffed crust, but I kind of think anything beyond that at this point is just it's not good.
I love the thin crust because that's all I eat now because it just doesn't make you feel so bloated and stuffed with all the excessive sodium and things like that. So yeah, like oh god, I feel like Doug Funny when he's like ate too much in that one episode. He's like, hey guys, what's cooking?
Yeah.
You know.
But I would like if Pizza Hut is around, like I'll eat it, but I'm just like,
Well, see, that's how I feel about Papa John's. Like I've never voluntarily eaten Papa John's, but if it's there, I'll eat it gladly,
yeah,
and it is good. But
yeah,
it's never ever something I request
yeah,
ever.
yeah. I changed my mind. I'd probably put Papa John's and Pizza Hut flipping back and forth at the bottom. Like the only reason Little Caesars is above them is like the price is cheap and like the taste of it. If you get it and it's mostly good, because there is bad Little Caesars. I always find myself craving it. I'm just like, damn, I want some Little Caesars.
See, and to me, I think they're the greasiest pizza. It's good, but I think that's by far the greasiest pizza.
No, I'm not as greasy as Pizza Hut.
No. Pizza Hut's number one. Then Domino's, then Little Caesars.
And then Papa John's.
Yeah, I guess
bottom.
Papa John's. Yeah, put them at the bottom. But,
all right.
But yes, but yes, we are here to do our Turtles commentary for the first episode, and I'll just count us down from 3, and we'll just watch. I'm watching the DVD.
Oh, well, here's the thing too. I forgot to put the link in the description. So when we're done with that, I will put the link in there to anyone, because we do have some viewers joining us live. Daily Motion, as always. Give that search.
It's on there.
Yeah, it's on there. Give the search for Total Tracks. Warning though, there may be like quite a few ads, because I know there's a couple different ones. There might be a ton of ads on one of them. I didn't check out any of the other ones, so I'll find the best link and put it in the description below for the people that join us after the fact. And
I think Turtle Tracks is on YouTube. Let me check real quick because
I
I want
think,
to.
yeah, I think it may be in like parts or something. So apologies to the guys that are joining us live.
Yeah,
I can,
it's in parts. Like it's in I think 2 parts. I think
yeah. So
so.
I
You
can,
could, yeah,
yeah, I would say your best bet's Daily Motion, like we usually do. But I'll
or
put it in.
DVD if you haven't if you
Yeah,
don't own Turtles on DVD or hell even VHS like I've got over here on the shelf. Do yourself a favor, man. Go out and buy it right now.
yeah. Well, I think you can get those individual volumes for pretty cheap now, and
Yeah,
even
or even the big like Turtle
the
Van
Turtle Man
collection.
set. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind kind of upgrading to that and just because I still don't have all the individual releases.
Yeah, I don't have some of the last few. Just I think money because they would release them, and I don't think I have enough money. And plus, as the series does go on, it's kind of dwindled for me in quality a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Even though there's a few episodes I've got, kind of like a heavy roster filled episodes of like Scumbug and Anthrax and Chrome Dome and Ground Chuck and stuff like that. I think Ground Chuck showed up, but anyway. But yes, I'm using the DVD. Nathan's going to use some sort of bootleg he got
No,
probably.
I'm using the DVD as well.
All right, I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1, play.
And of
Yeah,
course, like with Batman the Animated Series, this intro is fucking classic.
God, this badass intro and it's such a serious. I like this with the catchy theme song, but the action the turtles are engaging in is very serious. Like this just blew my mind. Like my brain popped out of my skull when I watched this for the first time. It was such a like, what the hell is this? This is incredible, and it was just all this beautiful and like everybody's taken so seriously. Like I mean, you would never know that this is a show about you know hijinks at times because this is such a serious intro for the most part. Um, I remember when I first saw this too, I never could quite figure out who the leader was, even though I just saw Leo as this bossy turtle as a kid.
Well, I mean, it clearly says in the intro that
I,
Leonardo's the leader.
I know, but as a kid, I'm like Leonardo Leeds, I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I just didn't understand that, so to speak. But in this intro to the crime situation in New York with April O'Neil's narration, with all these very interesting and odd looking, juvenile delinquencies and thugs
Well,
and gangs and
yeah,
stuff.
there's Bebop.
Yeah, looking awesome. And I always liked the gang that Bebop and Rocksteady are running around with at first, and this whole spray painting fad, which I guess still goes on, I guess. But I remember when we were kids that spray painting was real big on vandalism.
Yeah, no, I still see it on trains that pass by in town.
Yeah. And all the jokes that you're going to see with all the theft robbers, like this goofy looking guy. Look at the hair in his face.
Yeah.
It's just I thought all this was so serious. Like I absolutely have no idea. And I like the voice. The character voice acting is really good here.
Well, that was the voice of Raph, wasn't it? That was doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Rob Paulson.
Yep. Who also, for those of you that don't know, which I don't know why most people wouldn't, but he also voiced Donatello in the newest incarnation.
And all this too here, like where he says, "Oh, clearly it's by ninjas because it's made in Japan." This rope,
Yeah.
that went over my head. I'm like, "Oh, wow, it does make sense." And it completely ignored the fact that they still let the security guard tied up and they're recording and everything. All that went over my head too. It was just I was strictly about the action. When we see Shredder laugh here in a moment, tapping his bladed knuckle,
and there was Vern being like always being a dick.
and he's a little bit more low key. He's a dick here, but he's not the April, not like he is, later on in the show.
Right.
I'm not going to let sit around in the dead of the night.
Now the funny thing about this is how Shredder just apparently has cameras everywhere in the entire city.
Well, I guess if you go along with the idea that he's using technology from Dimension X,
Yeah.
the Foot Claners stealing high tech scientific equipment for a variety of experiments and stuff.
You're right.
You could buy the fact that Shredder could have small cameras set.
It's just kind of funny, just without the context.
Plus for storytelling, it helps tell that he is watching what everything that's going on. Like from a storytelling perspective for a children's cartoon, I buy that. And from a logical standpoint, that's how I look at it with all the equipment he's been stealing. And I used to get kind of nervous and excited at the same time mentally when I would watch the scene as a kid when the gang's approaching April and she's trying to get out of there. And I look at manholes shaped like that and wonder, can people really slip down those things? Because April and, clearly you can't, but she did it. And I like how
I could probably slip under there.
well, Nathan probably is one of the few that could. I like Bebop's glasses. I always thought there was the kind of
Yeah,
like small visor
dude, do
glasses.
you remember like those because I think Pizza Hut actually sold them too, like those crazy looking glasses. Like from
I don't recall that.
Yeah, like for me, there was one that's like it had like swooshes like on the side. It was like red and green, and they're so outlandish. And I used to wear them all the time. I thought it was great.
I still get excited watching this. Starring all the time, April and Neil, like chill out, homeboy. It's just and all you see is the weapons and them in black. What a
Yep.
kick-ass introduction for our heroes. This was so exciting to me as a kid to watch this. God, I was so pumped. And yet, it just and they never really strike any of the guys with their weapons. It's just throwing them around and breaking their weapons and just kicking them around and stuff. So they do withhold some on some of the violence, but still it still works. And it never bothered me as a kid, like to know that Leonardo's not stabbing anybody and that Raph isn't, impaling someone in the stomach. Like I bought everything, especially when they fight robots, as you see in the second part,
Yeah,
where they
I
just cut
never,
loose.
I never would have thought any differently of it.
No. Or in the foot soldiers, as we'll see later on, which that's arguably my favorite part is when Mikey realizes robots, let's rock, and just tears the trench coat off and
Yeah,
leaps up in the air. Oh God, badass.
man. I know we're gonna say it sooner or later, but man, like April is just hot. Like,
Yeah, I thought she was quite pretty, and she was a female that I really got behind as a kid. Like, I always thought like anytime the turtles would save her or they get a kiss from her, like in the video game, I'm like, oh man, they're so lucky. Like, I want a kiss from April because she just completed this package of these heroes that we would follow throughout the series. That she was such a core part of the cast here, and along with Ice Cream Pizza, which I don't know if I could try that. As being a fan of both, I don't know if I could take a slice of pizza and dip it in vanilla ice cream. But then again, too, I don't want to eat raw fish either.
yeah, I've never been huge into sushi.
No, and I don't think I'll ever be. But I just all this was so fascinating to me. Like their lair, like the sewer, is just and the backstory we get ready to see here in just a moment about Splinter's backstory and the Foot Clan and Hamato Yoshi and Oroku. It was just all fascinating storylines that we're seeing here. It's old Japan here. Interesting. It would have been, which I believe they've done in the current Turtle books where Splinter takes control of the foot after Shredder is killed. They try to use the foot for good, much like how they're originally used here. And I've often wondered that shot where did Oroku just come in and just break Hamato's staff because he's clearly sparring with somebody else. That just always confused me as a
Yeah,
kid.
I don't. This is kind of just kind of interesting too, just because like, all right, he can't bow, and it's just immediate like you're out of here.
Which, I mean, as a kid, I bought it too. Like, and then they see he pulls a knife out, and it made. I mean, it's probably just. Of course, I thought these guys were such pricks. Like, how dare you talk to him like that? Plus, they had those little bows on their head. Throw the bomb out.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if he's the old wise man, clearly he should know that there's like two sides to the story. But
Yeah,
guess he's
but
not as wise as they think
apparently
he is.
not. That's why Shredder ends up taking over the Foot Clans. You got morons running it. I always thought the
Oh
turtles
yeah,
looked
this
so
kid
cute in
is
their
just like,
glasses.
oh man, shit.
This is Nathan as a kid.
No, I was not clumsy like that.
All this Foot Clan stuff before there were robots. I remember wondering too as a kid when the movie came, like, how come they're not robots? But I figured it out pretty on like common sense. I'm like, okay, they probably just couldn't afford all the money to put together all these robots. Before I found out that originally, yes, the Foot Clan were supposed to be actual human beings as Foot Club or Foot Clan, not Foot Club.
Now, see, here's the other thing too. If it was me, I wouldn't walk into that ooze and just like pick them up out of there.
Oh, I guess when they're only friends, you just grab me. I mean, because he attempts to clean them up.
Yeah. I guess he was just like, oh, this is a Windex or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or like there's a rave stick goo or something
Oh
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, that got dumped down the sewer. Pretty fast acting stuff too. This like is you're getting this backstory because you see the backstory on the back of the cards too.
I like how Raph's just like, hey, you mind if it's still trap, lady?
Yeah, just the constant smart ass.
That's why he's the best.
And I like this little montage here introducing the turtles and their weapons. It was just fun to see them use their weapons and get the full on introduction of who everybody was. All this I just thought was just really cool and to see them in action. Yeah, because for a while, Raph, I was a toss between Raph and Dawn as my favorites as a kid.
Did you hear that though? No, no sword, not even Leonardo's sword, can match his size.
Yep. Well, that's you know, Leonardo probably still beat him though, regardless.
Nope.
He would, and you know it. I like he scowled at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That scowl. Oh, and with Leo having a sheath on his side there, that was something you didn't see too much, which I thought was just maybe something in the animation where and here's Donnie's got Raph's voice here, which used to blow my mind as a kid. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I always like those little inconsistencies. Like as a
Yeah,
kid, I would pick them out and was like, "Oh, whoa!" Like you weren't supposed to see that or know that
yeah.
that happened or something. I always thought that was. Some
They
people
it,
probably like laugh at it now, but I was like, it never bothered me.
it never took me out of it, but I realized like voices don't match up with something like Raph talking there. Channel 6. Can't help but think of Channel 6 and when Krang's android body grows to like Godzilla size and attacks New York. And everything here is pretty serious too. Like, I mean, the storyline of April being missing, and there's jokes here and there, but they don't feel ham-fisted. You know, everything feels like it's just quick-witted writing. That's all thanks to David Wise, who wrote a lot of these episodes, who also worked on He-Man. I always thought their beds were cool too. Like later on when I think in the second episode, they're all laying like a set of 4 bunk beds. Like, oh man, it looks so cozy. And it sucks too because when you watch a lot of these episodes too, like the animation of the turtles, oh, there's a shredder for the first time, and depicted with great villainy, such malice in his voice by Uncle Phil. His name escapes me. I hate that. I can never remember Uncle Phil's real name.
It kind of bums me out though that they kind of made him a little goofy as the show went on.
Well, of course, it sucks because I mean, everything in these first 2 episodes, everybody's portrayed seriously. There are some jokes here and there, but it doesn't kill. The tone in Shredder is depicted as about as serious as you could possibly get. It is a shame that they just made him just a guy that slips and falls in mud, and that's the end of the Shredder. And
Yeah.
you know, it's and
James
that's good.
Avery, by the way, was the name that you were trying to look
Thank
for.
you, thank you. It was a shame when he passed away about a year or so ago.
Yeah, because he was doing the convention circuit, wasn't he? That would have been super cool to like
Oh man,
find a way to meet him.
I mean, well, hell, even like Cam Clark who does Leonardo and Townsend Coleman who does Michelangelo, Rob Paulson, and then the actor who plays Donatello. He was on an episode of Kirby Enthusiasm playing a rabbi that gets his hand crushed by Larry David, which is funny as hell.
Now, when he's talking in that episode, could you just the only thing you can think is
Well,
Donatello?
that's what drove me nuts. And I watched that episode for years because it was one of my favorites. I go, why the hell do I know that guy's voice, but I don't know his face?
Yeah.
And then I saw him do a. They were doing like an interview segment with a lot of the actors. Like,
Uh,
son of a bitch, it's the rabbi from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Now, this is nuts right here. Old lady just
Oh
pulls
yeah,
out a gun.
a machine gun at that too. And as a kid, I thought she was a villain. I'm like, what the hell is
I
this?
mean, New York, man. New York in the
Yeah,
80s.
yeah. I mean, it all makes sense. You watch this with adult eyes. Everything you're seeing, it all makes sense. And when
It's like
people dismiss,
all night men's clothing. Clearly, it's probably a front for money laundering.
yeah,
So,
and all they have in there is trench coats and fedoras. But for four turtles walking in trench coats, nobody says anything because it's New York. Everyone says, I mean, and how like this Leonardo immediately just coming out with aggression.
yeah.
See, that sounds like something Raph would probably do, not Leonardo, but
And I like how she gets them all mixed up too.
yeah. And I thought that was such great storytelling as a kid. Like she keeps getting their names mixed, and then she gets pissed off by I think the third screw up. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, ghetto blaster on the shoulder.
Yeah, and it just them up on the top floor, just asking all these questions about the standard of human life. I mean, it's she has to remember too that they're not used to this kind of stuff. I love this everything ninja related. I thought was so cool as a kid. Like Ninja Video Rental, like that's where I want to go. What kind of videos they got there? Like all like Revenge of the Ninja movies and canon films. And this pizza place I thought was cool. The music, I mean, it's just God, I love this show. Welcome to Ninja Pizza. And they're just playing up that, and it's not really. I mean, obviously, the one of the cooks back there who's looking at the turtles right now is appears to be kind of in on or connected to the foot. At least the way they present it, as if. But there's nothing that really connects them. But you kind of just make you wonder if all these businesses are fronts for the shredder. Like all of those. I mean, well, clearly he's got cameras right there. There's an answer to one of your questions. He probably owns a lot of businesses in that district as fronts.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that like maybe he just owns all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, he probably does. I mean, God, I know the shredder's got to be ungodly wealthy. With running the Foot Clan in Japan and then brings them to America with all the theft and much like in the first film too, where they're stealing everything and building up this empire. All these like goofy looking. Look at this.
Yeah.
This operator. Good grief, man. Well, isn't she pretty? God. You can just tell she's evil. And the Foot Clan just wearing, security, hats on their head, and that's it.
I like how they're walking right there because it, like,
Looks like the toys almost.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say, like, it looks exactly like how the figures are posed.
Oh, I thought this was scary as a kid. I'm like, oh my God, they got her. 3 of them.
Then you had to wait for commercial break.
Yeah, you're like, no. But see, I watched it always on VHS. So,
Oh
and the
yeah.
first 2 episodes, they played seamless, like one big episode. So I was quite used to watching these as one episode as opposed to 2 episodes. All right, man, we're on the run here.
It's April's wallet.
And over there, some chewing gum. Like all the shadowing on
You've
them and
only known
everything.
her for like 8 hours. Like, how do you know what that gum looks like?
Now, these guys are good. Oh boy, here we come for one of the most action-oriented sequences ever, man. Yep, it's a trap. Oh man, here we go. Them in trench coats with the weapons pulled out is badass, isn't it? Oh man, now I feel like playing the arcade game with you, dude. God, I'm pumped. Clang? Oh man. They realize they're robots. This is the way I said we can kick ass now.
Yeah, that's such a good shot right there.
God, it's awesome. Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps watching this. And Donatello goes and just kicks all their asses.
Explosions everywhere, just
Yeah.
disintegrating into dust.
Just like Shredder's like, what the hell is this? And knowing that he recognizes the foot technique and everything, I like that consistency that, when he sees them, he recognizes their style. Gosh, the foot soldiers look so menacing in this too.
Yeah.
I look at them as like very serious, even though they dismantle them as cannon fodder, so to speak. But they still look like someone that you would not never be happy to see.
How many foot soldier figures did you have as a kid? I only had one.
Oh God, I only had one too.
It's such a
It
bummer, right?
sucked, man. It sucked. It's just one, and so many great toy lines had army builders, and it was just one of those things that I never owned a Horde Trooper as a kid. I only owned if I had any GI Joe slash kind of Cobra infantry characters, whoever it was always just one foot soldier. Excuse me. It was just
This
never
scene
had the
always
good
reminds
fortune.
me of the arcade game in a way,
Oh yeah, I always think of the arcade. Yeah, this a lot makes me think of the arcade game.
Especially like this hallway too. It makes me think of like that first level.
Yeah, and it's they. I felt like that first game really took a lot of nods to the show, and it just because I mean they used the look of everything that was popular, I mean, from Baxter Stockman and the Rock Warriors, and Shredder and Krang and Baxter Stockman and his well, I've already said Baxter. Well, Rocksteady and Bebop. Everything looks so much like the cartoon because I mean this. Some people like when they think of toy lines and toys, they always look towards a particular cartoon. I mean, God, and I'd say the cartoon probably.
This music's awesome too. Sorry to
Oh,
cut you
oh no,
off, but
no, it is. All this music is awesome. It's serious music. Like you don't feel like this is a candy coated adventure. Like April's wore out. They leave her, and I'm just gonna flood the entire building. I mean, that's nuts. Just like self destructed. Like that's how much Shredder fears these guys. Let's just kill them all right now. I always thought this was such an intimidating thing. How are they going to get out of here, man?
I mean, I guess, turns out it's a good thing they're turtles.
Yeah, yeah, we're turtles. Yeah, but she's not.
Where
I,
was Leo there, huh? Huh? Raph's coming in to save the day.
well, see, as a kid, I've been all about that because I was more prone to Don. So I support you in your statement there because my favorite Leo is from the movie. Sorry, just kind of going blank here, just watching all the action here.
I mean, it's bound to happen anytime.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I look forward to tackling episode 2 and meet Casey Jones and Leatherhead and the Rat King episodes, and I mean, it's just so many excellent episodes I just can't wait for us to tackle.
And we definitely, I don't know what your thoughts on are, but I want to watch that one where Michelangelo and Shredder switch places.
God, I haven't watched that one in a long. I remember watching that one on TV, and I remember enjoying it on TV. But man, I'm almost afraid to rewatch that one. Yeah, I'd have. Yeah, God, yeah, I'll have to do that just for argument's sake. But this is it's pretty interesting too, for because most children's cartoons would not do this, and they did this with Thundercats too. Where like the very first episode, the heroes don't meet the initial villain. You're given hints of him in this episode, but they won't actually confront the Shredder to the second episode, and it's a ballsy thing. Of course, as a kid, when I watched both episodes back to back, I saw it as like one big thing, and like, okay, so they meet the Shredder in the first episode, but
And
pretty
there's
interesting take.
Larry Houston again,
Larry
storyboard
Houston
artist.
worked on this as well, which we're in the works of getting Larry. As this is closing down here, to let people know, Larry is agreed to come and do some commentaries with us for the X-Men animated series, and I'm hoping maybe even the Pride of the X-Men pilot, since that's such uh, a novelty for me. Just because it was a pilot, it was one shot and that's it. I'd love to know more about that and everything that Larry did on the his X-Men series as well, from Night of the Sentinels and the Juggernaut and the final decision and Days of Future Past and the Cure. I mean, all the characters. Like, we look forward to getting as many episodes as we can with him, and hopefully he'll want to come back and do more. But hopefully that'll be either next weekend or the following weekend. That's what Larry has talked to us about, doing some X-Men commentaries with us, and hopefully he'll want to do more with us.
Yeah,
Because
no,
God knows he.
he's worked on so many things. That would just be exciting just to I imagine we can do the countdown, start the episode, and just let him talk through the whole
Yeah,
thing, and we can just
yeah,
interject.
yeah, and I'm the same way. Like, I don't need to say anything. This is Larry's time to educate us on these shows that we cherish as kids. So that's what I would we introduce him and say, go and just have at it, Larry. Like, we're not going to interfere or anything like that. I just want to learn as much as he can give us. So hopefully we'll have that lined up for our listeners next week or the following weekend. And if for some reason Larry can't make it for next weekend, do you want to do episode 2 of Turtles, or you want to do another?
No, that's fine.
Okay, that's what we'll do now. If Larry can't make it, we'll do Meet the Shredder or Enter the Shredder in the next week's episode if Larry can't show up. So, or then after Larry's run, that's what we'll come back and do some more Turtles and do the second episode then for our listeners then. So, if this is your first episode, we've done 5 other episodes. They're available on YouTube. They're available on Podbean. We post them on all our Facebook pages as well. If you have ideas of what you'd like us to do, like a series, we want to keep it more 80s/90s superhero shows. I definitely wouldn't mind doing some G.I. Joe, since Marvel did work on G.I. Joe in animation and comic books, so I think we can get away with that. But from animated series, X-Men, Justice League, Superman, Spider-Man, whether it's the 80s solo series, the Amazing Friends, or even the 90s series, if you got an idea you want us to do, let us know.
Look at you doing the outro thing.
Well, no, I didn't intend to do that. It was just like,
oh no, you're good, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else you want to say before we?
No, I want to thank the people that joined us live. I see that Jake Juggalo and JSP were in the chat. JSP also brought up too that Pizza Hut gave him food poisoning, so that's why it's at the bottom.
Yeah, well, Pizza Hut gave me Book It, and I got free personal paying pizzas for reading my books. So you guys may have greasy ass pizza and stomach problems, but I've got Book It and Land Before Time hand puppets.
Oh, dude, those were awesome, and also
those were badass, man.
Did you have the Eureka's Castle, any of that stuff when that came out? Because I got some of those puppets too.
No, I wasn't too much of a fan of that show. I only watched it because it was on, and my brother used to love to watch it. So
I thought it was okay. I got a couple of the puppets, but yeah, the Land Before Time ones were awesome.
Oh yeah, I had all of it. I had every single one. That was one of the Happy Meal / toy sets that I did manage to get all of as a kid. Because some on 1 or 2 would elude me, but that was one that I did get all of them. Sarah, Spike, Ducky, Petrie, Littlefoot, and it's all of them. Yeah, I had all of them.
Yeah, I think
they were fun to play with.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't think that it would be like super fantastic because it's just a hand puppet, but
they were detailed. They were full on like sculpts of the dinosaurs. You just put your hand up their butt and.
This is fun.
This is fun. I'm Ducky. Yep. And,
yeah. Well, it's like it was like with the thumb wrestling wrestlers. I had Hulk. I had like Hogan and it was either Big John Studd or like Hillbilly Jim or something. I was like, yeah, this is great, and it's just fucking.
Well, I never played with those as thumb wrestlers, because I just never thought I could, because I was only child at the time when I had them. Like, this is not much fun, so I would hold them like GI Joes or He-Man figures, and just move their fist to punch and kick and stuff. So I never used them the way they were intended to be, but I had a pretty good selection of those, except Hogan. God, I never had Hogan from LGN. Period. Not the large scale and not the thumb wrestler, but I had a bunch of others.
I had both.
Oh God, that was one I just wanted so. I remember when my dad came home with the wrestling ring. I did have the LGN wrestling ring and had
which was super cool.
Yeah, it was, and it came with a poster, a checklist poster of all the wrestlers.
Yeah,
and looking at that, I'm like, oh man, I want Hogan. And then I wanted guys like Corporal Kirshner, and I wanted Junkyard Dog because he looked so badass, like the large scale with the chain around his neck. God, it was just, there were so many cool characters. Like, oh man, I want Mean Gene, and that's a topic for Beyond Retro, possibly, that the LGN wrestlers, just how awesome those toys were, or just wrestling toys in general, except anything past the Hasbro line. Because I'm sorry, Jax did the cool real scan stuff with Edge and Christian, the Hardys and the Rock and stuff like that. They all look great, but nothing's going to compare to the magic of LGN and Hasbro's WWF lines, where they look like just big, colorful, characters, and with the Hulkster slam, the Hulkster hug, Ultimate Warrior doing his jump off the turnbuckle. You got Akeem, the African Dream, with his like chest thump, and
See, I never had the Hasbro
or
ring.
no, what? I did have the Hasbro. I got it as a hammy, or one of my buddies from school didn't want it anymore, so he traded it to me.
Yeah, I used the WCW ring with I want to say it was Galoob put
Yeah,
out those
yeah.
WCW figures. I had that ring, so I just like used all those guys. So I was having my own dream matches. I would have like Sting and Hogan like tag teaming together and
Awesome stuff,
yeah,
man.
but I was also very careful when I played with those because I was like I never wanted to like scratch them up.
Yeah,
Or,
I didn't do that either. I was gentle, man. I was did my own sound effects, and I would just talk in my mind. I'm not talking out loud. I will beat you, and acting like no, I didn't do that. It was just
yeah, that's something that we need to kind of talk about a little more too, because I feel like the three of us were kind of the same way with our toys. Like we bought them and we played with them, but we were careful enough because even as a kid, I would just display them, and like
you would hear stories from kids at school that would probably tell you how destructive they were with their toys, like burying them in the dirt. Oh yeah, man. I took my Serpentor fresh out of the box. It buried him in the dirt so he could rise from the grave, and it was great. But then I forgot all about him, so I took my BB gun and started firing holes in the ground because I'm a destructive, crazy kid. Just you hear stuff like that, like, oh God, you're a monster.
But yeah, we'll have to talk about that on retro. Speaking of being on retro, here in about half hour, we're going to be jumping into an episode. We're going to be talking about the Goonies. So those of you joining us live, give us about half hour, and we should be going. Hopefully, we have Joe with us.
And if not, he'll join us at some point.
We'll see how that goes.
If you're listening to this, we do Beyond Retro, and we also do a Fans of Power podcast that's all dedicated to He-Man and She-Ra. So if you like hearing what we have to say, we do 3 shows a week. So you get 3 doses of me and Joe and 2 doses of me and Nasty Nate. So let us know if you enjoy it and what we can do for you. So until next time, we'll
catch you next week.
Next week.